What's going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video review. This time it's Raiden from Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, and you can purchase this figure at bigbadtoystore.com. Just click the link down below. This figure is actually, it's not on sale, but it comes with a store credit, so you're gonna buy it for its original price for $2.99, which is a bit expensive, I know. However, you get a refund, not a refund, but a store credit that you can use on future purchases for 175. So all in all, I mean, on Big Bad, if you have any pre-orders, you can use that anywhere. So essentially the figure is going to come out for 125, which is not bad. I mean, for 300 I would not recommend this at all, but for 125, why not? You know, it does come with an issue. I don't know if you've already heard, but it does have this issue in his elbows where it stops clicking, where you have to fuse it again and fix it. It's problematic, I know, but I am a huge Metal Gear fan. As you can see, the artwork here, just reminiscing of the old, Metal Gear games that I grew up with, and it's just beautiful. I'm a huge fan. I got Naked Snake, I got the boss, so this is a must-have for me. I didn't get the red version. I know it has the flaming red, but I wanted to be more of what he looked like in the game rather than I'm not a big fan of concept arts. Let's just put it this way. But I don't know if that has the issue as far as the elbows are concerned. But as you can see here, it comes with decent amount of accessories. That's the beauty of this figure. This was released, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago perhaps, and I got him. I display him with my other Metal Gear 1/6 scale, which is I want to get the Metal Gear 5 as well. There's like some bootleg versions out there, some third party, but Hot Toys announced it a little while back that they are gonna do Phantom Pain. I don't know if that's even gonna materialize at this point. It's been a while since I saw a catalog that it comes with that, but it's been years and we haven't heard since, so I guess we can chalk it out. But as far as this figure, as you can see here, beautiful hands, not your typical boring hands from Hot Toys. Obviously, he is a cyborg, and his hands is a bit intricate. So just that by itself, you can see the markings, the letterings on his hand. You will really get your money's worth, but be prepared if you are gonna buy this figure with his with the issue upon his elbows. It does have this rotating, like a clicking noise, which eventually would go away unless, well, honestly, I didn't touch his left arm thinking that it would be fine, and it just broke again. So what I did was I just bought a part online, fused it myself. My first try, I wasn't successful. And then, there's tutorials out there online on YouTube. So just, if you buy this figure, be ready to bookmark that into your YouTube, because eventually it might not happen right away. Sometimes it just happens out of the box, but it will happen. Trust me on this. But, despite of that, I would say this is a beautiful release anyway. And you see it comes with this visor, which gives you so much options. You got the open visor, which is you put this on either side of his head, and you got the closed visor, which you would look a little more of a badass in my opinion. But yeah, you got those options. Even the chest plates that he does wear, you have 2 options as well. So there's a lot of things that you can do with this figure, which is really, really awesome, to be quite honest with you. And I don't know, maybe I'm a little biased here because I'm a huge Metal Gear fan, but I hope they continue the line. Really, I do. And this is the chest piece. You can see he does come with the knife as well. Tons of weapons with this figure. And for anyone who owned Naked Snake, it feels the same way. It feel like it comes with tons of accessories, but you can't really pose them as much as you wanted to. Even though this guy is much, much, much more poseable than Naked Snake. Naked Snake, his outfit is just restrictive because of the type of material that they use. It's more like a rubber suit, so it just doesn't go well with bending and all that stuff. It kind of like reverts back because it's a little bit of tight fit. But this is the chest piece that he does have. Forgive me if I don't know what they're called. It's been a while since I played the game, but it is in an open position, in a closed position. I'm guessing the open one is more for like, if you don't want to pose him too extremely, and the closed one because it doesn't extend all the way down his shoulders. So, and he does have a gun with a flashlight on it. It doesn't turn on, it doesn't light up, just letting you know. It's just bouncing off the light. because just showing you the amount of details that Hot Toys really put in their figures. I believe this is an AK-74 perhaps. It does look like that, and the stock does not fold if I remember it correctly. This is an older footage that I have, similar to I've been gathering old footage lately. I don't have any new figures to review, so I figured you might as well. I have more, because I started reviewing in 2012, but I wasn't really into it too much, so I just do it as I go. So in the process, I skipped a lot of my figures. So now that I'm a little bit more involved in it, I figured some people might still be looking at this figure and maybe looking for some tips if he wants to buy this or not. And he comes with this beautiful blade. Now there's an exclusive version of this figure, I believe from Sideshow back in the day. You give it like a different type of katana, whatever, but I didn't go for that. I went for the even right now I won't even recommend you going for that. Just buy it from Big Bad. Buy it for $125. It'll break. Don't contact Big Bad Toy Store if it does break, because it's not their fault. It's Hot Toys. If it does break, don't ask for a replacement. Most likely they won't have any. So just roll with it. Fix it yourself, and then that's it. Yeah, it's a known issue. So it's either you have a figure or you don't. So just full disclosure right now, and you can see there's tons of good things about this figure. That thing right there, this is his sheath, which is pretty futuristic, but again, danger, high volume. I believe his blade is more like electrified, if I'm not mistaken. Back in the day, I mean on the game. It's did I finish the game? I think I finished the game. I just didn't platinum it. Back this was like 2014. Or 15 perhaps. I was just trying to platinum every game. I have like currently sitting on 55 platinums. So, but yeah, it was a bit hard on this game. But as I remember, this is one of those games where the blade actually cut through things. It's like you get a car, you can actually cut the car and anything into pieces, which is pretty awesome. And this is not your typical you sneak around Metal Gear type of thing. So you could actually go out and be Rambo and just Rambo your way out of it. Now I try to put in the I guess that's where it goes. I don't remember. And he got his like little knife in there, and then his longer blade. So that is pretty sweet. And then you get this little arm. It looks like one of my arm for my tripod right here, this articulated arm, which you could use to insert that sheath right there in that hole and into his back. If this was done not too long ago, I'm pretty sure this would be magnetic. But this is an older figure, but there might be a reason why, because he is not really flushed out his back. There is some bumps in his back because of the armor / the type of material that they used. But the stand that he does have reminds me of my old RoboCop stand. You can see Metal Gear Rising, and and I think Star Wars. Yeah, Star Wars still uses this type of stand, but it does have that Japanese symbol in Metal Gear Rising, that honeycomb bee pattern that they do have. And this is the figure itself. Very intricate. So this is not something you can bash. Like you can see the legs. Very high detailed, beautiful figure. If you are just staring at it, unless you move the arms, like I said, and if you can get past that issue, and I suggest you do, you would be happy with this figure. And I think I've mentioned the arms so many times because it's a deal breaker really for some. One of Hot Toys' worst, if not their worst blunder ever. It's a toss-up between this and perhaps Batman Begins. Vader's, the first Vader, the New Hope, is right along there. So it's, they made some mistakes along the way. Let's pretend that they didn't. There's certain reviewers or figures in this community that is, defending Hot Toys to the core. I love Hot Toys, man, but like this figure, I knew when I bought it that it would happen, and I still bought it. I didn't buy it for full price, but I still bought it because it is a beautiful figure. So I would say, like, anytime, if you are a new collector or if you're an experienced one, I would highly suggest you watch reviews, because it does help, honestly. I mean, these are expensive figures that it's not an investment, but you wanted to resell them just in case you want to retire, from the hobby, or you want to get your money back at least, or close to it. But it won't happen if you don't know what you're doing, and sometimes you take a risk, but you really don't have to. There's a lot of reviewers out there who gets their figures in advance, or just wait out, because you get something like this, and that would really bum you out, especially if you didn't watch a review prior. You get it from eBay, you complain on the seller even though it's sealed, and there's really nothing he can do because it was sealed, for example, and it just exists. So now you're mad at the seller's mad at you. So a lot of things. But do some research before you buy something, especially this price point. It's not like a NECA figure where you would be like, all right, it is what it is. Paid $50 for it. If you're paying $300 or sometimes more, you want to know what's the downside to it. So this is the arm. As you can see, it has a rubber fitting on it, and going down, there's so many movable parts in here. This armor right here is a separate piece. You can move this around. I knew because I took out the arm, and they're connected by glue, really. Oh, you see that side? It has a hole. So this is where it goes to, which is a sheath, and it kind of like bends over his back. So you have that portion right there. Let me just move the mic, and here you go. So you kind of like position it there, and you can move it around basically on how you wanted it to be. And there's like a small hole, and yep, there you go. But yeah, this armor right here, or the body that they used, is different in a sense that you kind of covered it with rubber. You'll see it on his arm. I should have made a tutorial, but there's so many tutorials out there. It's a bit complicated, so if you're not up to it, don't get the figure. Yeah, here you go. But it's beautiful. I mean, you can always pose him in a neutral position. So let me get this straight. Like the thing that I'm talking about is that it would not allow you to pose his arm for a long period of time, because it will just go down. So basically, it is kind of like it clicks every time you move it. Like the arm, the elbow, basically. So if that gets broken, and it will, it's probably already broken by now. I guess they're saying that it's too tight, or the fuse that they did was so it still would work. It's like a broken ankle. It just wouldn't stand by itself. This time, if you don't fix it, it would not hold a pose. So if you're okay with this type of figures just standing there, like a museum pose holding, you can still move the shoulders upwards, and that's no problem. It's just the elbows. So I don't want to make it sound like if you don't fix it, don't buy it. It would be a museum pose at most. So, I mean, it's still okay. I personally am a museum pose type of guy. But just full disclosure out there, and look at the abdominal area. There's some beautiful, and let's go for a wider look in here. Just want to show you. And this is the demo of the arm. I'm recording this. See that? It doesn't hold a pose. So that's kind of does. It's supposed to have like 3 clicks on it. And this is, I believe, the 3rd click. This one is holding it for now. I know I broke both arms. And the other arm, I broke the left arm without even moving it. I just decided to one day, because I knew about the issue. So I was just like, okay, let me try that, and it doesn't hold a pose. So that one does hold a little bit. This is the one I believe that, see, it doesn't hold, so it just snaps right back. There's like 3 snaps, and that arm, the right arm, eventually just broke as well. This one just broke, out of the box. And if you were around the area, so this is what you're gonna get most likely, or what's gonna happen to your figure is like that. It won't hold any posts, but then again, you see that small range of motion right there, that's not even 90 degrees, like the 45-degree angle. That's all that you can get from your figure if you don't fix it. So there you go, 1, 2, and then 3. There you go. There's 3 snaps. Some people modified it so it can go 4. Luckily, I think I bought mine back in the day. I attempted doing it myself, but so much things needs to be done through it that I just gave up and bought one online for like $40 for 2 arms. So I just like, a lot of people back then were when they bought it at Sideshow, they were complaining, and they were sending them extra arms. The arms are still the same way, it doesn't matter what kind of figure you get, it is going to get broken. So what they did was they were fixing the arm and keep on asking arms from Sideshow. So and then they were selling the arms after they fix it. So I was lucky enough to get one of those arms, and then I attempted one. I was sort of successful, but I wasn't able to bring back all the armors together nicely. So one has a tear, which is I just ignored it, So, but as far as the actual head sculpt, it is beautiful. As you can see, the hair here, there's a lot of work into it. It's a very unique figure. If you're into anime, which I'm not, but it kind of resembles one of those things. You can see the hair. Man, I'm gonna offend a lot of my friends are all into anime. They got this Crunchyroll and all that stuff, and I can't relate. I don't know, man. I'm just not into it. I just never really got into it, even though when I was younger. But I wanted to, just never got into it. But this kind of like reminds me that the style, the artistic style, the ninja sort of things, and yeah, I'm not gonna go into that territory because I have no idea. But it just just the hair kind of reminds me of that. I'll leave it at that. But beautiful representation here of Raiden. Now it makes me want to play the game again. He's giving me and he got several options here. As you can see, this is the visor, which kind of just there's like a hole, I believe, on the side of his head or face that it just sort of snaps into it. Again, nowadays it'll be magnetic. That's the improvements that Hot Toys have done over the years. But it still works, man. It does still work. It just kind of, just fiddle with it a little bit. So you just don't overextend it. I think it would break the visor. So that's how it works out. So he looks kind of like a badass using this. You can see that. Turn him around. Beautiful, that shiny visor right there. Just kind of gives him a more robotic look. That's just really nice. Now that I'm seeing this, I think he would go well with Alita. The Battle Angel, the one they're about to release. I don't know when they're going to release that, but yeah, along with the rest of my Metal Gear collectibles, which is 3. I hope they do an Ocelot and Metal Gear Ray, or just a proper Snake, man, not Big Boss, because we got Big Boss from Metal Gear 3. And this is the open position, which I kept it because I really don't want to cover the face. Every once in a while, I don't mind, but I rather have the face open. It's such a beautiful portrait right there. Even the teeth, all that details right there. I really don't want to cover that. But using this, it's more like he's a robot, and they just opened up, and he revealed his face right there. That's nice. Gray Fox, beautiful, with his sword and everything. Man, Metal Gear 1, gotta make it happen. Is it Konami? I believe it's Konami. Yeah, they got it. But I know there's like a rift between Hideo Kojima and Konami about Metal Gear, so I believe he's out of there. And correct me if I'm wrong, but for those who are still following video games, they released a Metal Gear Survive, and I heard it's not a very good game. So it went on clearance right away. But, maybe one day I'll pick it up. And I'll throw him in a few poses before we wrap this thing up. So if yours is broken, this is most likely the go-to pose that you would go, hey, it's not bad. It's an up and down pose, museum pose, which is what I have him anyway, even though I already fixed the arm. Not bad. If this is what you're going to get for $125, it's not bad at all. See that? I mean, you got to fork out $299 right off the bat, but still, look at this. And this is another pose, a safe pose, because it is possible you're not bending any elbows, so you can still kind of give him in this pose, and be safe. Even if you fix it, the undersuit is rubber, so it's kind of like a tug and pull going on in there. Maybe not so much, but I'd rather be safe. I fixed it, but if you don't want to, you can resort to more creative poses like this, and you would be safe, even if you don't fix it. And that's still pretty badass. He's showing his sword with a gun in his hand. He's ready to fight. Yeah, Raiden is ready to fight right here. And this is one of his signature poses, I guess, in the game. And you can see he has a pretty good range of movement. Again, you don't need to pose. You don't need to bend the elbows. I think I already broke my elbows at this point, and I was just like, yeah, screw that. I'm not gonna pay, to get it fixed. And I eventually did. But you can do it on your own. But as you can see here, you see my hand like ready to catch it, because I'm always scared that it is gonna fall off. It is just being held by this crotch grabber on his leg, and it's a really scary proposition when you're here and just showing off. Hey, I'm pretty proud of this pose, even though it's nothing. It's nothing like really awesome right here, but it's a unique pose, for a guy who can't bend his elbows and arms and all that stuff. So yeah, he did this in the game, and I didn't even change his foot, because one of the foot is like, and this is like a weird comparison that I threw in there. Got, I think, whatever is like closest to me at that point. Both figures is not with me anymore. Both Whiplash and Iron Man Mark 3 and ninjas. I put the ninjas together with Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes. So I'm not all Marvel and DC, man, but yeah, there you go. Beautiful figure just by looking at it. One problem though is the elbow, and that's it. And honestly, for the price point that Big Bad is asking for this, you can't really go wrong. Regardless of the elbow. I mean, if you buy it, I'm telling you right now, be prepared, because it is gonna break. It's one of those things where if you buy a Batman Begins, the ankle is gonna have an issue. So be prepared. But for $125, I can't go wrong. I mean, you get statues that are more expensive than that, and the statues doesn't even move at all. So here you see I was creative, a little bit creative as far as the poses are concerned. You can even pose him like this, what I have right now, and I'll still be happy. So once again, I hope you find this review helpful. If you did, click a thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and click that bell notification so when I upload a new video every Friday, you'll get notified. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next review.